Hey, what's up? How are you guys doing? Today we're going to talk about, seriously, how do you, market a little bit. And this is not going to be deep marketing, but I'm going to give you some information in regards to how do you build an audience, an actual audience that's interested in what you're talking about, and what you're doing, and they're interested in your products and your services. And how do you do this without sounding spammy or salesy or that type of thing? I see I got some High Profit Zone family members up. Make sure you put hashtag HPZFam in the comments so we'll know that family members are here. But we're going to have a conversation today, a real conversation in regards to what are you supposed to be doing on a regular basis with your ideal clients, with your target audience, even in your social media world, in order to have more lucrative conversations, right? Because what's the point of doing all this social media marketing and all this social media work if it's not actually going to lead to any deal closing conversations? And then what are some of the things you're supposed to be saying in that deal closing conversation so that you don't feel like you are selling, like just overly selling? So I see I got Michael, who's a High Profit Zone family member. I see Kevin's here, who's a High Profit Zone family member. What's up, Barbara? And what's up, Mike? How are you guys doing? So Barbara said she's at the beauty shop watching me. Girl, get your hair did. So if you're wondering who I am, my name is Donna St. Louis. I am the CEO of HighProfitZone.com. And at High Profit Zone, we have a couple of different programs. We have the one program, which is our mastery program. It takes, what's up, Elizabeth? We take, she's a High Profit Zone family member. We turn experts who have an expertise, and we turn that expertise into a high profit entrepreneurial business. And then we also have supplemental workshops, and those supplemental workshops are like deep dives. So example, some people want to know about marketing. Some people just want to know about sales. Some people just want to know like the blueprint for a business. And so we also have these one-off workshops as well. And what's coming up is right now, we only do this once a quarter. We have a couple of openings for people who might qualify for and be interested in the High Profit Zone family member. What's up, Wendy? Wendy's also a family member who, so if you qualify to be a family member, to find that out, of course, you have to give me a call, and all you got to do is go to highprofitzone.com and you can set up a time to talk with me, or you can also just go to meetwithdonna.com and set up a time to connect with me. Then also, we have the boot camp. So the boot camps that we're doing, those really short, hit it hard boot camps are coming up. We have a bunch of those coming up. One is also going to be coming up in November, and I'll give you more information on that later. But for now, let's talk about these conversations. Let's talk about these things that you're doing from a lead perspective to actually get in front of people. And so one of the things that I teach clients to do on a regular basis is something we call the Daily Six. Now, the Daily Six is very strategic in that it does three things that you need to make more money fast. The first thing that it does is ensures that you're staying at the top of your game with your information, and you're sharing that information with your clients. What's up, Lisa? She's also a High Profit Zone family member. The next thing that once you say, okay, I've learned something and I'm sharing it, right? That's what you're doing on a regular basis. That's going to help you build a social media audience. Then the second thing that you're going to do is once you've built that audience, or as you're building that audience, it's not after, it's as. So in concert with, as you're building that audience, you want to also develop relationships. And as you develop those relationships, you also want to close more deals. So it's this three-part strategy. It's build, engage, and sell. That's what it is. Build, engage, and sell. So these three things together, I call them the Daily Six. They're also known as attraction marketing. And so the question is, okay, so how do I do this? And where does this start? And how do I get it done? So we're going to jump right into that. So I had a client who called me a while ago, probably about, I guess it's been like about 3 months now. And they were really complaining because they had done all the work, and they had all this great collateral. Their website looked absolutely amazing, and they were doing all the things. They had done all the things, but they weren't making any money, right? And that's not the goal of High Profit Zone at all. And so I said, okay, so you built it. Are you doing the attraction marketing and sales strategy? And like literally crickets. And I said, what are you doing every day in order to build your business? And so kind of, well, I go on social media sometimes. I reach out. Okay. Like, what are we actually doing? And so we sat down and we had a real conversation in regards to what those activities look like. And here was the number one concern. If I go and I do all this stuff on social media, then what's going to happen is I get sucked into social media and I end up being there all day long and I don't get anything else done. The other thing is I'm not really sure what to post on social media. I feel like I'm not posting anything that's good. And then the third thing, which this is my favorite, and I'm just not good on camera like you are. That's not my joint. I'm not good there. Right? And so it's all this stuff, all these, I don't want to say excuses, but all these roadblocks that were really slowing this client down. And so we had to have a different conversation. I said, okay, I get it. It feels like too much. And so the first thing was we talked about the social media strategy. I said, okay, so you learned something in regards to your business. Maybe you already had something in regards to your business and you discovered a new way it could be applied to your clients. Okay, you discovered that. Great. Now, how are you sharing it? And they were like, oh, well, I go on Facebook and I post something and then I tell people to, buy. And then I go to Twitter and I post something and of course there's a link for them to buy. And then I go to Instagram and I post something and then I go to Twitter. And then I'm on LinkedIn and then I'm in these 1,800 groups and I'm like, pause. The goal is not to be everywhere. The goal is to be in the target-rich environment in which you will find your clients. If your clients are not on Facebook, then why are you, and I don't mean, can some of your clients be there over lunch? Sure. But if you're talking about sales leadership, there's probably a really, really, really good chance that your client isn't sitting on Facebook all day. In fact, a lot of companies have Facebook blocked. So the chances of them sitting on Facebook watching you talk about sales leadership is not that good. However, because salespeople use social media, use LinkedIn as a strategy in order to increase sales in their own business, they're probably there. So your target-rich environment is not on Facebook. It's likely on LinkedIn and Twitter, where you find a lot of people who are in a corporate environment making decisions on a regular basis. That's where they're hanging out, right? And also, when you're putting stuff there, you want to make sure that you're using a hashtag that is specific to your expertise. Because when people are searching for a specific content, many times they're going to be using that hashtag. What's up, Cynthia? Hey, fam, how are you doing? So that's Chef Tia. She is our amazing celebrity chef. She's off the chain. So that's the first thing. We want to make sure that we're building an audience. What we don't want to do, though, is every time we put out information, we don't want to be selling. We don't want to have, I'm only telling you this for you to buy. You have to be pretty clear that you're giving out the information because you think it'll really help people or it's something that you learned. And also be a little vulnerable. Let me tell you why I screwed up. And I can tell you on the Daily 6 where I screwed up 1,000 times. I'd get started and then I do it for a while and then I stop or I get busy and then I forget it and then I put it off until later and then I go back to it, right? Or it's that thing, I got to do it every day, or I didn't modify it to make it work for me. So yeah, we've all made mistakes, whatever. What we want to do is we want to ensure that when we are doing our very first thing, which is professional development, that professional development is part of building our audience. I learned something that's valuable. I think my clients will benefit from it. I'm just going to share it with them. Or I think my target-rich environment will benefit from it. I'm going to share it with them. That's it. That's all you got to do. You do not have to sit there and just constantly put out sales posts on social media. That's totally not the goal at all. Okay, so now you've created this kind of machine, right? You're in the process of creating it. People are paying attention. They're like, hey, that's pretty good information, right? So they really, really like that. They really like the whole concept of you're putting out information and it's not just sales information. Yeah, of course your link is there. And if they want to know more, they can click on that link and find out more. But it's not just a concept of bombarding them with sales, because that's actually going to make them click off. It has to be very authentic and from you. All right. So once you do that, what's going to happen is relationships are going to establish. What's going to happen is there are going to be people at this one level, and all of a sudden they're going to go from this one level and they're going to go to this other level. Let me tell you what that looks like. This first level is, I like to come in and I like to watch your stuff. And that's it. That's level one. They might even interact with you on social media a little bit. But then there's this next level where somebody will say, you know what, I've been watching you for months, or I've been watching you for years, or I've been doing whatever, and I've been taking notes and I've been trying to implement it on my own, and I realize that you have the answer. So why don't I just engage with you on a different level? So this takes it from being just building an audience and engaging with that audience to now your audience wants to engage with you. This is relationship building. And no, you can put out 1,000 things, but you're only going to have the people who are really interested in taking the relationship to the next level that are going to reach out to you. Notice how I have not said anything about you have to have this huge list where you're constantly bombarding people, right? I didn't say that either. I'm literally saying you have to do this your way. If you're great in email, then do email. If you're great on Twitter, then do Twitter. If you're great in groups, then do groups. You have to do you the way you do you. But what happens is when it starts coming back to you the other way, you're now ready to create relationships. So those people who reach out to me, who honestly reach out to me, I give them all kind of kudos. And I don't get on the phone and immediately like, oh, I'm going to sell you. Because I don't necessarily know that just because they reached out to me that we're going to create a connection or they're right for me. I'm very, very selective and specific about the people who join the High Profit Zone Mastery Program, especially. And I really want to make sure that the people that I work with, that I know I can help them. So it doesn't make sense for me to get on a phone call and immediately start selling someone because I don't even know if I can actually help them. And I don't want people to buy if they're not going to get the result. And so for me, it truly is just a relationship building conversation. The other ways that people, build relationships is maybe you send out postcards to them periodically. Maybe you call them just to see how they're doing. It's not necessarily a sales conversation. In fact, my clients almost always are the people who push on the sales conversation. And the way they do it is they're saying, you know what, I've known you for a while, we've had great conversations, I really feel the connection, I'd really like to be a part of your High Profit Zone family. And then, I'm not that person. And Linda, you know me, I'm so not that person. And there are sometimes people, by the way, that I talk to that I know they're struggling. I know their business, I can help them get to their business to the next level. And I'll say, listen, I don't know where you are financially, but I really think that this can help you. And if you're ever interested, let me know. That's probably the extent of that, right? But you gotta, hey, Kelly's also a High Profit Zone family member. Hey, Kelly, put hashtag HPZ fam so everybody knows family is here. So the next thing that I do is I really take a look at, well, how am I communicating with them? So usually I'm just building relationships. It's not that I'm selling someone hard. I don't do that. I'm not doing the hard sales thing. I'm having conversations with them because here's the thing. At the end of the day, if you are so hell-bent on pushing your solution without knowing what their frustrations and their personal challenges really are, then you're just selling and it feels uncomfortable to everyone involved. If you're pushing so hard for someone to buy, it is a repellent. So actually what you really should be doing is trying to build an authentic relationship so that that person knows you, you know them, and you can really know whether you can help them or not. And again, I do have some people that I said, dude, I've heard you bitch about this thing now for the past 3 months and it's not getting any better, and I can help you, but you got to have skin in the game. So if you want to get in my program, let me know, because I know I can help you. In fact, here are the 3 ways that I can help you, but you got to get in the game. And I'm usually crystal clear about that, right? Okay, so now you've built your audience, you're building your audience, you're engaging your audience through relationship building, and now you're on to your next thing. Now you're ready to sell. You're ready to actually offer them something, or they want to have a conversation with you in regards to the offer. The challenge that people run into in regards to this part is they get on the phone and then they immediately go into this long, drawn-out diatribe on why they are the best person ever to hire. No, that is horrible. That is not what you should be doing. You should not be writing a whole email on why you're the best. First of all, those suck. Second of all, I already Googled you, already checked you out. I already know why you're good. So really, I'm not checking out why you're good. You know what I'm really checking? What I want to know? What can you do for me? How can you give me a solution that will transform me from where I am to where I want to be? I do not need more information. I already told you guys, content is not king. So I don't need more information on why you're awesome. I need to know how we're going to work together and how your solution is going to solve not only my personal problem, my personal frustration, but my business frustration. How are you going to deliver for me a personal win as well as a business win? How are you going to help me transform my business? And so the very first question that you should be asking someone is this: what is going on in your world that made you think that I had the solution? That's really the first thing you said. That's it. You don't have to say anything else. So when people call me and we talk for a while and I go, sometimes people just want to get on the phone with me because quite honestly, they think we can partner together, right? That's it. Yeah, what was the quote? Content. Content is not king. Content is not king. Content is free. It is cheap. It is not king. I can get content anywhere. So anyway, let's go back to it. So what happens is when people are on the phone with me, sometimes I'll say, so what's going on in your world that made you pick up the phone and call me? And they'll say, you know what? I know that you work with these types of people and I had this particular service and I think it might be great for them, but I'm not 100% sure. And I was wondering if you were open to exploring whether it was or not. Imagine if I got on the phone with them and I spent the entire time trying to sell them. We would have gotten all the way to the end of a conversation of me trying to sell, only to find out that I was barking up a tree that didn't even exist. That's not why they reached out to me. And so this kind of opens the dialogue for the conversation. What's going on in your world that ask me all the time. So what's going on in your world that made you reach out to me? What's going on in your world where you think HPZ might be the solution for whatever's happening, right? Then the second question that I want to know is, so if you don't get the solution that you're looking for, right? So let's say I go, you know what, you're great, but I don't think this is the right time. Or you're great, I don't know anybody that's going to solve that. Or what if you go, I can't find the solution anywhere, really? What happens if you don't find the solution and you don't get the transformation and you just stay where you are? What have you tried already that's not working? What have you tried already and you're just like, geez, for example, I talk to entrepreneurs all the time and I talk to them like, so what have you already done? What have you already tried? And they'll tell me the same things. Well, I made the website, I did the video, I wrote a book, I'm putting everything out on social media, I'm doing cold calls, I'm doing all the things, I'm getting none of the stuff. And you know what I'm gonna do right now? I'm like, what are you gonna do right now? I'm gonna go and make an online program and sell it. I'm like, whoa. So you're just going to keep making stuff until somebody finally comes, because you didn't learn from the first time that if you build it, they will come. That didn't work. So you're going to build some more stuff. You're going to keep building stuff because eventually you feel if you build it in the right spot, people are going to show up. That does not work, right? And so it's really okay, so what have you done? What have you tried that hasn't worked? So the first question is, what's going on in your world that got us on the phone today? Second question is, all right, so what have you tried that didn't work? What's really frustrating you right now? Third question is, okay, so if you don't get that solved, if you keep just doing this stuff and it's not working, what's going to end up happening? I can't tell you how many people have said to me, I'm going to have to get a job, like a real live job, or I'm never going to be able to leave this job, or my business is going to go out of business, or I'm going to keep doing work that I absolutely hate doing, right? Those are real conversations. Real questions. Notice I have not said anything about offering a product to anyone at all. And so if you want your phone to ring, if you really want your phone to ring from your leads, if you really want your phone to ring and have more opportunities, then you really have to create an environment in which people feel like they can call you. That's how you get your phone to ring. You don't get your phone to ring because you put out another ad. That's not how it works. Oh, my phone rang because I put out 10,000 ads? No. My phone rang because people heard that I had a solution, or they heard something that I'm doing here and they're like, you know, she makes it sound pretty easy. I'm just going to call her. She doesn't look like she eats her young this week. maybe she'll just talk to me. And the answer is I do. And the people who don't call me, by the way, I have this whole thing that I'm like, it's just not the right program for you, because if you're too scared to pick up the phone and call me, if you're too scared to even get on my calendar, it's not the program for you. Because quite honestly, when we get to the point where we actually have to have conversations and, you know, you're over in the corner rocking and self-soothing, it's not going to work out, right? And so if you can't get to the phone call, you can't sleep with me in the mansion. So that's kind of how it works. So those are really the three things that I do. It's not that I'm doing any magic, right? And here's the other thing. It's not about having, one of my favorite things is somebody said a while ago, they're like, but it's about having 10,000 people watching every single day. No, it's not. Sometimes I get 800 views. Sometimes I get 100 views. Sometimes I get 1,000 views. Sometimes I get 50 views. Quite honestly, doesn't impact me either way, because the people who watch are the people who are, number one, they're either family members, so they're like, Donna's giving out more information, or they're interested, or they want to tell other people. All my business is based on referral. My High Profit Zone business is based on referral and conversations with people. So you have to make sure she's got her Michael's been listening to too much Lizzo. So what you really want to do is, it's really about creating an authentic environment where clients want to reach you, right? And it's not necessarily about having 1,000 people on your list or 10 million people on your list. It's not about doing that. It's about creating an environment with the people who matter, that actually reach out to you. And let's talk about those lists, by the way. I have a friend, this guy, who's been putting out videos every day for the past, I think it's 10 years. He has well over 3,000 videos. 3,000 videos. He has something like 60,000 YouTube followers. He puts out content every single solitary day, still to this day. I've known him for years. And he's absolutely sure that this content strategy is going to work. He's a little bullheaded. He struggles constantly with his giant list. And it's a constant struggle to get people on his list to buy something, because he's just talking to people who will listen, not to his target market, an ideal client in a target rich environment. They're overwhelmed by all of his content that they're not even really sure what he does or what he talks about. So it's not about having the biggest list. It's about having a list of people who recognize that you have a solution and they want the solution, and they recognize that they have to have skin in the game to get the solution and the transformation that they're looking for in their life. I think that's all I have for you. So you're going to build your audience, you're going to engage your audience, and then you're going to close deals with your audience. So I put out, last thing I want to share with you is yesterday I put out this little survey and I said, so what do you guys want? And people said, no, I don't want to learn about everything about the speaking business that I didn't know. What I really want to know is I want to know how to do sales and marketing. I want to know how to do attraction marketing and sales. Well, guess what? I know how to listen. So, and this is a perfect example of someone who made a mistake. I should have done the survey before I put up the website. Duh. I know this. I am not saying anything that I don't know. So what did I do? I went and worked on the website, and then I put out the survey. The exact opposite that I told every one of my clients to do. So my High Profit Zone family right now is going to go over to the High Profit Zone family group, because we have a private group, and they're going to talk massive amounts of shit where I did something that I've told them not to do a million times. But also what that means is, because I know how to pay attention to what people say, I'm actually going to change the retreat. That's not the retreat, the boot camp that's coming up in November, to a sales and marketing boot camp. It is all going to be about rainmaking sales and attraction marketing, and how we make this simple and easy and workable and strategic, right? I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. I'm going to put a boot camp together for that. It's a boot camp, so it's just a couple of days, which means you're not staying with me in the mansion unless you're a High Profit Zone family member. But we are going to do everything in Orlando. There's a hotel that's going to be nearby. It's going to be November 21st and 22nd. I'm updating the website today. I will give you more information. And there is going to be, I have to even change the dates on the early bird rates. There's going to be a big change on the early bird rates and dates and stuff like that, so you can go ahead and jump in. Anyway, I listen. I did make a mistake, and I'm going to correct that mistake, because I should have done this in a different order. I know better. Anyway, if you're interested in getting in the mastery program, where you're going, Donna, the boot camp's great. That's awesome. But what I really need for real is I really need somebody to hold my hand and walk me from idea to sales. The whole thing. I need somebody to hold my hand and walk me through that. That's the first one. And that includes, of course, the 9-week High Profit Zone Mastery Program that you do with me personally. It's not an online thing where you're watching videos every week. Nope, that's not how we roll. And then after that, you come to the High Profit Zone Mansion, and we help you launch your business. We make sure your expert brochure is ready. We're telling you how to do sales. It's just the whole thing. Now, after that, there is also the boot camp. So the boot camp is different because the boot camp is a 2-day deep dive into something very specific. So this is going to be just about sales and marketing. How do you do attraction marketing, and how do you have deal closing conversations? And there's going to be a whole hell of a lot of role play because we want people to know how to actually have the sales conversations without people feeling like you're pushing the sale on them, right? And it also helps you decide what people that you should be spending time and talking with, and which ones you're wasting time on. Anyway, those are the 2 things that are coming up. Right now, if you have any questions, you want to know anything at all you have to do is go to meetwithdonna.com, meetwithdonna.com. Please look at how I spell my name, DAWNNA. So meetwithdonna.com, or if you want to learn more about the High Profit Zone Mastery Program, go to highprofitzone.com and I'll give you more information on that. Anyway, you guys learn about the boot camp later. I will talk to you later. Please do me a favor and share this video. Just click share. If you thought the information was valuable, it means everything in the world to me if you'd share it. That really means a lot to me. I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you later. If you have any questions, just hit me up on DM, come to the mansion, or get in the boot camp. Talk to you later.